Hello, everyone. Today is March 20th, 2026, the first day of spring, and it certainly feels like it in this warm and sunny morning. Across the board, besides oil, all the other asset prices trended down this morning. Oil right now is at $100 for the WTI and $110 a barrel for Brent. And that little spike put downward pressure on asset prices. So we saw gold and silver and the stock markets and the Bitcoin all trended down this morning. The Strait of Hormuz is still contested. However, I believe in the coming days, the U.S. will send in ground troops to secure the strait, also the islands in and around that area. And once U.S. and Israel are able to secure this critical passageway, the oil prices will tank, and that in turn will lift up the asset prices, such as Bitcoin, gold and silver, and stock markets. So until then, the financial markets right now they are in flux. The latest news coming from Iran is that the IRGC commanders, the top brass of this evil organization, they are jumping ship, just like rats on a sinking ship. They are trying to escape the country with their family and their assets. Um, as we mentioned yesterday, I believe there's no better way to move financial assets across borders than crypto, than Bitcoin. And I believe in the coming days, we should see Bitcoin outperforming gold and silver because it's hard to imagine anyone carrying hundreds of ounces of gold and silver across the border of Iran and successfully, able to smuggle any of these precious metals out of the border. Most likely, it's going to be confiscated and stolen, but it'll be much easier to accomplish with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's one advantage crypto has over a legacy safe haven such as gold. I want to address something that was mentioned to me by the New Jack team. And the idea is that they think we in the OG Wojak community are just a handful of people who are extremely stubborn, who somehow fell in love with a contract address and wouldn't want to migrate for a better token, a better smart contract. I don't agree with that. I personally, am willing to change my mind if new information present itself. An example is that for years I've been the greatest critic of Trump. I abhorred his policies and his personal life, you know. But for example, last year at this time when he rolled out the tariffs, I thought it was the most idiotic idea from a politician, from a world leader, because anybody who had a basic education in Econ 101 would know about the concept of comparative advantage. And someone in Trump's circle should have educated him about this concept that two countries can benefit each other by trading. For example, U.S. is very good at making weapons, and China is very good at making T-shirts. So China, if it trade a billion of its T-shirts for F-15, it benefits this trade. It benefits both nations in the long run, and that's what they call comparative advantage. But Trump obviously didn't know about this basic concept. He thought that if U.S. has trade deficit against the country, that means the other country was taking advantage of America, which is completely not true. Um, but fast forward a year, in January when Trump instructed the U.S. Special Forces to go into Venezuela and capture Maduro, I was 100% in support of that. I was extremely happy when 40 million Venezuelans were liberated under the yoke of Maduro's totalitarianism. Same thing happened 3 weeks ago when, Trump finally delivered on his promise to sending the help for the brave Iranian people who had been under the oppression of the IRGC for the past 47 years. I was ecstatic, to say the least. So I became a Trump supporter, because of new information that presented itself over the past 3 months. So I'm very flexible at changing my mind as long as the alternative information, the alternative um, choices make sense. However, when it comes to Wojak, I don't see any better alternatives. Yes, we have these VAMP tokens on Solana and on Ethereum, but I don't know what kind of people are behind these projects, and from what they've been doing, over the past 6 7 months or so, it doesn't really inspire trust and confidence in my mind. Uh, on the other hand, the OG Wojak community, I've been involved with them for 6 months, and I know the remaining people are the people I can work with and trust and go into battles with and relied upon and depended upon. So that's something I do not see in the other VAMP tokens. So, if the New Jack team or anybody else could present an alternative, a knockoff that um, present itself to be a better alternative to the 0x50 contract, I'm all ears. But until then, I'm gonna stick with our community, our token. And I know everything is tough right now because of this, um, this warning labels and tags slapped on us by the New Jack team. But let's stay encouraged, stay hopeful, and trust that better things, are ahead. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.